Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to another wonderful episode of Montreal by Night. Before you, we have the intrepid adventurers and myself, your storyteller, Tyson Fraleigh. Amongst our adventurers, first we have Ethan Jonah.
I'm here and very afraid of death.
We have Brenten Edwards.
Good morning, peeps. I am here, very unafraid of death. I've been looking forward to this all week. Let's go, bring it on!
And last but certainly not least, Takeshi Fukushima.
Hello, everyone. I'm here.
Wait. Do you think we should change that to the award-winning Takeshi Fukushima?
I do suppose. For those who are unaware, October Jones and Fish with Legs has officially become an award-winning podcast, and we are very proud of everyone at the October and Fish team, and we're very proud of our dear boy Takeshi for being a long-standing one half of a two-headed snake, being the main antagonist for the story. So congratulations for you, Takeshi, and for the whole team for October and Fish. We're so happy for you guys. Let's go to our recap. Last time on Montreal by Night, the party had a very long excursion inside of their apartment. The party watched a quick newscast of Monsieur Bouchard, Alexandra Capaldi, and the mayor calling a state of emergency for Montreal as there were mass riots and massive demonstrations in the streets about fighting against the heightened crime rates here in the city and about these dark, lecherous, leech-like criminals that were at the underbelly of the city, a blood cult of some sort that they were working fast and hard to root out. The party called upon some allies, asked for the assistance of Estelle Lavoie, who, upon entering the apartment, had her true faith abilities come out in full form, temporarily blinding Talisen and nearly burning the rest of you to a crisp. Before you explain the situation, as Estelle offered to assist you with the single rule that you did not consume or do anything at St. Columba House. Estelle was then able to rid you of certain banes given to you specifically by your clan, which allowed Asher to make blood bonds, which allowed Talisen to see more beauty in the world, and which reverted Nakano from the hideous Nosferatu form into that of a very familiar gentleman that he recognized from so long ago. The party then heard about the house of Kate Benoit being assaulted and a number of their allies being sought out by police to potentially be interrogated. You guys were deciding what to do next, and that is where we left off. So as you guys are inside the apartment, about to head out the door to go and chase after Benoit, what would you like to do?
Wait, hold on. Before we go anywhere, Trixie, my dear, when you hired this apartment, I asked you to acquire a certain outfit for me. Did you get it?
Oh, of course, honey. You think I wouldn't know some sort of swagger and style you've got? I'll go and get it.
Grazie mille. Actually, I will join you. One moment, gentlemen.
Is this really the time for a costume change, Talisen?
Of course. I am a toreador. Potentially the last. So, I need to make myself heard. Besides, we have no plan for this assault. And it just occurred to me, as we were about to run out the door, that while we may have Sunlight's resistance, Miss Benoit does not. And so we'll need to have a plan to extricate her from the vehicle that she's being transported in, and also get her away safely without her burning to a crisp. Or at least get her to another location.
Tyson, did you say Precinct 27 last time?
I believe it was Precinct 127.
Pretty sure that doesn't exist. that doesn't exist in real life. Where is that?
It does not exist. It exists on the other side of Saint Laurent. Oh, it's closer to Papineau metro station.
Asher goes over to the door while Talisen's changing. Talisen, I don't know how well we'll be able to pull off a rescue mission in the daylight.
What are our alternatives then? I have a feeling that if we go after her in the evening, it will be a lot more of a difficult endeavor, given that the police all have weapons designed to destroy us. And I also think we may risk weakening ourselves for the fight against Bouchard, and whatever allies he has left.
How close to the metro station is the police precinct?
I'd say a few blocks.
We would be able to get there if it's a few blocks. However, Miss Benoit certainly would not.
I suppose we could steal a SWAT-style van with a fully blacked-out rear and drive it directly into the metro station, I guess. It doesn't sound very stealthy.
Or we could steal a blood bag transportation van with a totally blacked out rear and drive it into the metro station.
Actually, that makes sense.
Actually, better idea. What if we stole an ambulance with a stretcher, and that way we could just bring the stretcher directly onto the metro with Kate inside, with a bag over it?
Why, pray tell, would there be a stretcher in the metro?
We would only need to get into the metro, and then we could open it, and she could move herself. But if we're going to do this, I must assume that Bouchard is going to intercede with her at some point. In addition, would not the Papineau Metro be under the oversight of Ambrosia? No, Ambrosia prefers Lionel Gru. Nakano, it was you that lived at Papineau. So that makes it more likely that they would have individuals watching in case Nakano goes back.
Pretty much.
However, keep in mind, the number of empowered opponents for us will be significantly diminished. There are not many kindred left in Montreal at all. And so, this may work to our advantage. I am faster than the humans by quite a significant amount.
We don't know what state Kate will be in when we get her, regardless. Ideally, if we can get her to the train station, we could just toss her in the luggage compartment and get her out of town. She's not going to be healed up fast enough to help us.
Well, the way I look, the options that we have with Miss Benoit, I have not spoken to her the entire time. I know she was in bad shape. I was told she was in bad shape. I don't know her condition. And I also don't know her allegiance. I am going to rescue her out of the fact that we are from the same clan. My thoughts, when we do reach her, would be to, if she is in condition to fight, a place by her side to at least fight, because, look, another Toreador would be beneficial on the battlefield in terms of controlling our human opponents. Failing that, I could send her to Paris, to the Toreadors that I know are there, and she could perhaps send some more Toreadors to help us repopulating the city. Or worst case scenario, if she were against all of that, we may need to diablerize her.
We are not diablerizing her.
We agreed that that was a line we weren't going to cross again.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, we may need to kill her.
If she is in control of herself and her abilities, she would not have been able to be caught by mortal police.
I am just putting the cards on the table. I would rather have these options easily available and then dismissed out of hand, going into a situation so that we don't find ourselves in any uncomfortable situation in the heat of the moment.
All right, we may as well drive over. If we take the tunnel, then we'll be protected from sunlight, and that'll give us time to recover.
In that case, gentlemen, arm up. I have a statement to make. I will be back.
Asher leans over to Nakano and is like, was Was that the statement? I'll be back? I've heard that one before.
Why did he announce that? He always has a statement.
It was also... I thought it was supposed to be in like a different accent if you're gonna make that statement. Isn't that a movie quote?
I do not... I am unfamiliar with this movie quote.
You know I can hear you, both of you.
This is the point.
Oh, Kikatsu, you too. You kill me. So, yes, Talisen changes and he comes back, and if you thought he was ostentatious before, this is quite different again. So Talisen has walked in a long coat, squared off shoulders, big collar, has a giant red rose blooming across the entire upper back of the jacket, and then down the sleeves has a twist of blooming roses and thorny stems all the way down to the thick cuffs over his hand. He's wearing a pair of knee-high like riding boots that you would have found back in the older days. This, for those of you who are aware of Talisen's history, this may be clothes that he originally wore back in the day. He has the high riding boots with the straps on them and some ostentatious spurs on the heels, some leather breeches, a big ostentatious belt, which has been modified to incorporate holsters strapped to his legs, with two gaudy silver pistols. He is wearing a flowing white shirt with the V-neck collar, which has a bulletproof vest over the top of it, and instead of his Guy Fawkes mask, he has a Italian Carnival mask on, with the part, the joy and sadness theater masks. It's split down the middle so that one part is joy, one part is sadness.
Is this the statement?
Are you wearing spurs? Spurs on your boots? Do you think that we're gonna ride a horse tonight?
Yes, these are favorites of mine back in the day.
Are we gonna go and steal a police horse? Is that your plan? Precinct 127 might have police horses. I'm not saying it's out of the question. I just don't know what you would do with a horse. Spurs are the noisiest thing you possibly could have put on.
I'm here to make a statement. I am not the stealthy one of the group. That is Nakano. If they're all looking at me, they're not looking at Nakano.
We're doing a stealth rescue. You could have put this on later. Why? Why have you done this?
It's not a stealth rescue. We're either A, intercepting a police van, or B, we're attacking a fucking police precinct. There's nothing stealthy about this. She's going to be under armed guard the entire time. This is going to be ostentatious. This is going to be loud. They may as well be looking at me, so they're not looking at you.
You have abilities that make people terrified of you or in awe of you. We couldn't just... Why are you... You have abilities to make people look at you. Why would you put on this outfit? The colors don't even go together.
I'm a toreador! Kikatsu! It's what I do! And the colors do go together. That is terrible. I have spoken to people about this. The colors definitely go together.
I think you might want to go back to school for like some basic color theory. Concordia might have a program. McGill probably has a program.
You have never insulted me like you have now. Good Lord, man. Why must you do this? This is why I want to hang out. This is why I want to spend some more time with the toreadors. They appreciate art. Not like you.
No, I mean, I've met Kate before. Her fashion is like flawless. The color coordination, it's perfect. This is not that.
You are treading on very thin ice, Sasha Haynes.
Well, if I'm on ice, at least I'm not on ice with spurs.
You're a bad man.
I will say, hun, perhaps the bedazzled belt is a bit much.
Just to clarify, the belt is not bedazzled. It's simply ostentatious.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
Asher reaches over to Trixie and takes away a bedazzle gun that she's holding and just shakes his head no.
I'll turn to Trixie and just like glare daggers at her. Just like, I trusted you. This is a betrayal.
Are we doing this or not?
Of course. Oh, as well. Instead of the guitar that I have on my back normally, I now have an electric guitar with a more elaborate neck and head on it, which in turn is the handle and hilt for a even more elaborate and overt, ostentatious looking sword.
Sorry, are we? Asher looks around. Are we bringing an amp with us? Do you have an electric amp that we're bringing with? Is your distraction going to be a concert in the park? That's all I'm asking. Asher looks at Nakano, confused. Doesn't that instrument require electric amplification?
This is my understanding, yes.
It does not require it, it is merely enhanced by it.
But if you do not have it plugged into some sort of electric amplification device, you cannot hear it, even if you are right next to it, is my understanding.
I'm not playing the guitar. The guitar has the sword inside of it. Come on. You know this. You know I carry around a sword hidden in the guitar.
Yes, but that was the other guitar. This is a completely different guitar. Why would you
With
have
a completely
two guitars
different
that are
sword?
secret? You have multiple sword guitars?
Yes!
I don't have a single one, and it's never been an issue.
Sweeties, I just want to say I really love this kind of bickering. It's really cute. But at the same time, your friend might be dying. I think that might be something you want to focus on.
No, I think this is more important.
I mean, up to you, darlings. I'm happy to listen to all your fashionista and sword baron woes, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Trixie, could you cut me a strip of cloth off of Talisen's previous outfit, since clearly he doesn't need it anymore?
I'm sure I could do that.
Just like a strip of white cloth, please.
Sure. Kind of goes over, just kind of pulls out like some very old, like what is it, like fancy, probably like $600-700 like dress shirt, like proper like Egyptian cotton, and just sink sink sink. Here you go.
Talisen will just be like, his eyes wide, just like, Trixie, what have you done? That was a fine shirt.
Oh, honey, you're rolling in it. You're rolling in it, sweetie. It's fine. And just hands the strip over to you, Asher.
Asher just like cuts his arm open and kind of soaks the cloth in his own vitae.
Are you right there, Asher?
Am I all right?
Why are you soaking a fine shirt? Once again, glaring daggers at Trixie for a moment. Are you soaking that in your own vitae?
I figured it would be easier to track Kate, but perhaps this won't work. It's been a long time since my sire taught me this one.
Well, look, as the Spanish say, porque no los dos, right? Why not both?
Intelligence plus blood sorcery. And the difficulty is the ritual level +1. So, it's a difficulty of 3. That's a success on my rouse check. Blood sorcery plus intelligence.
What is the ritual that you're doing?
Illuminate the trail of prey. And that's 6 successes. The piece of cloth, even though it's soaked in vitae, bursts into this like kind of like green chemical fire, and it like burns away. It takes a couple minutes. I have to make a intelligence survival roll against 6 minus the margin on the ritual, which was 3. God, guys, this is why I haven't learned any blood rituals. They are so complicated. Intelligence plus survival. 6 successes. The target must be known by face by the caster, who sees the path traveled by the victim over the previous 24 hours. So Asher sees this neon green laser tag mini golf, like ultraviolet, like line wherever Kate has passed. And we know which direction they're headed. Shall we get in the car? Or do we have to go and take the blood bank car?
Let's take the blood bank car.
All right. Do you want to have him reroute over here instead of St. Columba?
Well, if memory serves, Estelle didn't want us feeding near St. Columba house, so probably for the best.
Well, if it's in a bag, I'm sure she'd be okay with it. Is Estelle still with us? Or did she leave?
Estelle has left at this point, but you do remember the fact that she just asked you to not feed on anyone inside the building or in the rest of the point. So, like, just as long as it's not anyone from the community, she feels, like, much better about it.
All right, let's get going.
By the way, I should ask before we undertake this. Are you two in appropriate health to be undertaking a venture of this nature? This is quite... I am assuming this will be quite risky.
I could use a nap later, but for now I think I'm fine.
Alright, I could definitely use a nap as well. So, the objective is to... let's go, let's drive there. Plan on the way. Are we just going to take out... Wait, hold on. Are we going to... If we're getting her in transport, are we just going to take out the police ahead of and behind her and then drive away? We could do this in transit with minimal standing fight, so long as Nakano is sufficiently skilled behind the wheel, which I know he is. And as being... If we lean out the windows with the firearm, we could quickly disable the vehicles that are guarding Kate Benoit and simply commandeer the van and drive off.
I believe that our best plans have been when we do not have a plan. So I think we should cross these bridges when we get there.
Let's pick up the trail, see what area they're in. If we can cut them off before they get out of Place des Arts, although they were already en route, it may be too little too late. But if we can get Kate from anywhere between a subway station and a precinct, a metro station, pardon me, that one will get me in trouble. If we can do that, we can get her somewhere safe.
Are we going in hard? Should we not have the Humvee? Are we going in quiet?
We are being searched for. We must go in quiet.
As you wish.
I am already putting on my hat, my sunglasses, and my scarf to cover myself up, and heading for the door.
All right. Nakano, you step out through the door and are welcomed by a cool breeze, a little bit of warmth across your skin, something you haven't had in a while, as your two other compatriots follow in behind you. You guys traveling up towards the front of St. Columba House. I would like you each to please make a stamina check.
Also, as well, I'm just clarifying that all of my gear, I also have a shotgun over my back and all the grenades on my belt. Like, I'm coming strapped. So I've got every weapon that I possess, including some stakes in my jacket.
Nakano and I are 500 meters away from you. We are not walking together.
Yeah, Talisen, you do notice a few times as you're walking across. Thankfully, while Point St. Charles has definitely been mostly immune to the absolute madness that has taken over a lot of the city, people are still like somewhat out and about, like trying to get back to their apartments, trying to get back to their homes. And they just see a dude with a full shotgun across his back with a full half smiling, half frowning face. And there's just quite a few people who are just look at you
It is Halloween.
It is Halloween, but they don't, like, these people don't say anything. They're just like, what the actual fuck is going on? And just kind of like, it's not my problem, and then begin walking away.
I'll see one or two and look for a moment and be like, Happy Halloween. Enjoy trick-or-treating.
They just kind of give a little wave.
Nakano and Asher are walking 500 meters away, and they're just chatting. He's a grown adult man asking for trick or treating? Did he just ask those young children for candy while brandishing a shotgun?
Yes, I am not entirely accustomed to the traditions of the West, but is that normal?
I said Happy Halloween, Kikatsu.
You're 500. Whoa, we're not walking together. You're far away.
No. I'm like shouting this at you. Like, hey!
I mean, it is Halloween, so the costume. If he was dressed as something, then it would be better. But he's just dressed. I know it's all really expensive, but it just kind of looks like sparkly trash.
Well, we are all going to die soon, so he might as well die happy.
Yeah, but shouldn't I get to die happy too? We have to look at it.
At which point, Nakano and Asher arrive at the front steps. You do see some people beginning to like mill in and out of St. Columba House. You can see that people seem to be hard at work. You can see that there's some people, like the distant sound of like talking, organizing coming from inside of the actual house. But that is all kind of overtaken by the screeching tires of a blood bank van that immediately screeches to a halt in front as you see a familiar guy still in his like full like dress getup, like looks like he hasn't had a change in the day except for his glasses where you can see there's a massive crack that seems to spiral up that's brand new. As you see Doug.
Perhaps you should convince Doug to lend us the truck. Talisen. Either Nakano or Talisen.
Very well.
Before Nakano goes in to have a word with Doug, I'll catch up with Asher and sort of press my Guy Fawkes mask into his hand and say, while you're too busy laughing at me, you idiot, your face is plastered all over the news. Nakano's is not. It would be prudent to hide it. While these people may not be under the guile of Mr. Bouchard, they have seen the news. They are mortals. They know fear. Smarten up.
Talisen, I appreciate your concern. And I appreciate that my face has been spread around. I, however, was not born with your looks. I look like every single goddamn banker, accountant, and educator in this entire city.
Who's just had their face plastered onto the goddamn news. We want to keep some level of civility and not fear in this neighborhood that we are a part of now.
Talisen, I canonically look hella ordinary. I'll pull down a baseball cap over my face like they do in films. But if I wear a mask, people are going to take notice.
It's Halloween. I know you can talk. We can pretend that this Halloween is not going to it's not going to be very difficult.
Talisen, Halloween was canceled. We saw it on the news. You blend in your way, I will blend in mine.
Fine.
For Nakano. You see Doug standing there. Oh, hey there, bud. How's it going?
Ah, Douglas. Thank you for your prompt arrival.
Of course, it's least I could do.
I will need you to get out of the truck now.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm out of the van as it is now. I'm surprised. I've never seen you out in the daytime before.
It is a new thing I am trying out.
Ah, well, it looks good on you. You're looking much younger.
As Doug is standing out, I would just like to walk past him and climb into the driver's seat.
He doesn't even seem to, like, second guess it. He just kind of watches you as you're walking. So, yeah, like, you know, skincare, I hear, is all the rage right now. And it seems that you've got a good thing going on. Because based on what I can see, you're much more flush. You've got, like, you know, like before you had, like, the super creepy eyes. But now you don't seem to have that anymore. I swear to the Lord, I had my grandma. She just tried a little bit of, like, a little bit of moisturizing every day. And she looks like she's just turned 51. It's crazy. Yeah, of course, that was before the CBD oil, and well...
I start banging on the car horn.
I'll get in and light up a cigarette.
Okay. Would you like to get in the passenger seat or in the back?
I'll get in the back.
To clarify, the back of the truck is where they, like, essentially keep everything cool, but it's entirely also locked off from sunlight.
Do we have view from the outside? Of the outside, then?
From the back, no. From the back, all of the windows are entirely blocked off because if sunlight gets in and starts messing with the fluids that they, like, deliver from place to place. So it's just dark and cold in here.
Are there 2 seats in the back seat, or is there just one?
There are no seats. It's just, essentially it's just freezers back here.
Okay. Asher, would you like the cool in the dark, or will I take it?
I will likely need Asher up here to track.
Actually, fair. You are better with firearms.
Perhaps we might step inside for a few moments. I am feeling rather sunburned.
Yes, it's good to note for the audience. I mentioned this to the cast before we got started. However, simply put, whenever they are outside in the sunlight, they are required to spend 10-minute intervals hiding in the shadow, just so that way it's not just full-blown daywalkers. So there is that slight penalty, so got to keep that in mind. It is getting close, so you guys are able to pop in, wait for about 10 minutes before you feel yourselves kind of recharge from the sunlight. As you guys step back out, Nakano, you're able to take the front seat, Asher the passenger seat. For Nakano, I need you to make one hell of a Dex drive roll.
Okay. Can I, in the 10 minutes I've been waiting in the back to recharge, can I have drunk some blood to get down to 1 hunger?
Absolutely. Though the entire experience has been a little bit aggravating for you guys, you all continuously hearing outside the back of the blood bank van. So I'm really curious about how the rest of you guys keep your skin looking so nice. Like, it's like, is it Nivea? Is it like, I've heard of great things about Cetaphil. Like,
and our plan is to take the tunnel because we'll be out of the light.
That sounds fair to me.
While you guys are back there, now that I'm thinking of it, please make your stamina. Jesus Christ, I'm turning into Talisen Jaffe. Please make a stamina check.
I got 2 successes.
3 successes.
So that was 6 successes for my drive, and then for my stamina, 2 successes.
Okay. In which case, all 3 of you are fine currently. You're not feeling it extremely strenuous on your body or just being awake at this hour. As Nakano and Asher, you take to the front seats and drive towards the precinct.
I think that Asher is like feeling physically exhausted, but is just like pushing himself mentally to keep it together. It's just pure willpower.
And Nakano, with 6 successes on your drive check, you do quite well and just under the wire. As there is no one driving through the streets of Montreal right now, but it's a certain level of kind of like eerie, like deserted. There are certain points where you're trying to get to the tunnel and it's just traffic jam, but there's no one inside their cars. Bumper to bumper traffic, but no one is honking. All the doors are either swung open, some of the glass is broken. There are occasionally people who are unconscious lying in between cars. You have to drive around the actual traffic jams as you begin to clock in the distance, going especially into the downtown sector, checkpoints where you can see what look to be mobile police like setups. You can see that there are officers that seem to be in full getup. There appears to be clearly worn SWAT members who are just working traffic stops, which makes you question who are the people who are actually doing the work, like inside of downtown. However, with the 6 successes, you are able to just barely find a gap in amongst the cars within the 10-minute span of traveling down the tunnel. And essentially it's, while you're driving down, it's probably maybe about a 3-inch gap between you impacting against the wall and you start like slamming into cars. But you're able to quickly, essentially putting your foot to the gas and just very gently controlling the vehicle, able to continue moving extremely quickly, but also able to bridge that gap.
At some point, Asher had Nakano stop the truck to like go to one of these like unconscious people, and he has stolen their clothes, and is now wearing like a very boring beige windbreaker, and like a black baseball cap with like the logo of like some random golf course, and there's like a golf marker like magnetically attached to the hat. He looks like someone you would look at on the street and then like just look away out of like secondhand embarrassment.
While we're doing the team fashion show, because we established that Nakano's clothes are now slightly too big for him, while he was in the back of the blood bank van, he would have taken some of the plastic tubes that like you use to transfer the blood from the bags into someone's veins, and he would have like tied one around his pants as like a makeshift belt, and then like another two to like almost like suspenders to keep his shirt from just like falling out over his arms. So he's just like covered in clear plastic tubing.
It's absolutely up to Nakano, but it was also essentially established last session that Talisen and Trixie did get you some clothing that would be closer to your size.
Oh, okay.
It's entirely up to Nakano if he would wear it, because it is quite gaudy, but
we picked something a little bit less ostentatious, as Talisen's usual getup, but
less ostentatious for Talisen is still ostentatious.
yeah, it's still like pretty spotlight.
Can it be like jeans and a Hawaiian shirt?
Yes, it absolutely.
All right, I'm wearing jeans, a Hawaiian shirt. I still got my jacket, and I would still like to have a piece of clear plastic tubing as a belt. But this is what I'm rocking.
Absolutely. They're like I want to say like the very what is it? Like skinny fit diesel jeans. So it's just very tight jeans for you, and the Hawaiian shirt, I imagine, is in quite a few like funky colors, kind of like a vacation wear for Talisen. But going back to Asher, as you're plucking the clothes from the person, you find what looks to be probably like a late 40s, early 50s, probably like a stockbroker of some sort. Like you can see he's wearing like the golf shirt. He has the golf cap kind of set on, the slacks.
He has the phone case that goes on the outside of his belt.
Yep, that is exactly the vibe of this guy.
I'm going to take his phone and the phone case.
As you pull the phone and begin undoing like the clothing to at least get like the essentials, you start pulling off the shirt as you can see his eyes begin to...
I don't need his shirt. I just want his coat. I don't want to leave him shirtless in the street. But I'll just cloud memory and just like punch him. Like I'm gonna try to just knock him out, I guess.
So as you're pulling off the coat, you snag the cell phone, and as you're pulling off the hat, you just see him kind of eyes begin to go wide open before you hear the mark of sin, the mark of the beast, 666. Yes, endless death, depravity, sight-seeing, the creatures of the night. Before you...
I didn't realize how creepy it was when I spoke prophecy, but it's super disconcerting. I don't know why you guys didn't tell me sooner. I would have tried to do it less.
From which I now need Nakano to please make one more dex drive check.
That is another 6 successes, and I have 2 merits, which will hopefully help with this. I've got Crack Driver. I have a natural affinity with wheeled motor vehicles. Open Road. Unlike, blah blah blah, I have an extensive knowledge of ways to avoid danger on the road. I know routes to avoid unwanted incursions with lupines and overzealous state patrol alike. This also offers haven locations all over as opposed to limited to one area, but I don't know if that will really come into effect for basically the rest of this campaign.
I mean, it could be a quiet place to get some shade, which would always be helpful.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
With another 6 successes, you come out of the tunnel and begin driving as you nearly seem to get spotted by another one of these checkpoints that is kind of near the water, like controlling anyone who's trying to go from Griffintown up into downtown. You just slow down and just act a bit more casual as you just shift gear, as you just drive past the checkpoint as the officers just...
Did I remember us taking Doug with us? Is he in the back with Talisen?
He was just standing there, wasn't he? We didn't take him with us.
Can we retcon that and say that we took him with?
You can do that.
You do realize that he's just going to be talking the entire time. It's just going to be like, we're going to be doing our thing, and then Tyson's just going to be sitting there like...
I mean, he'll be in the back with you. Nakano and I won't be able to hear. Okay, so I'll explain my thinking real quick. At some point we have to ditch this truck. And if we leave it in a stationary position, that gives people insight as to where we went from there. But if the truck keeps going with a different driver, who knows where we got out?
So in which case, you guys do bring Doug with you. As Talisen, you have a pleasant driving partner in the back of the car with you. Just asking like, oh wow, like, yeah, you've got some pristine stuff with the makeup there. That's really nice. How do you do like the whole get up sort of thing? It looks like you're about to like go into like a whole like concert performance or something. It's wild.
Well, I mean, look, I am a performer. I've definitely spent time on the stage, so I had to have the props, and
you're a performer. I've never met a performer before.
Oh, really? Oh, we are a dying breed, unfortunately, but...
You know, I saw Celine Dion in concert once. It was wild.
Oh, I saw her as well. I went backstage, actually. She is fantastic. She has fantastic taste.
As you guys arrive at the precinct, Asher, as you arrive, you can see that it is a mostly stone building, fairly extensive looking, like the entire block is essentially cordoned off because of the nature of what is going on downtown and elsewhere throughout the city. It's almost as if Nakano has a sixth sense kind of moving around as you spot that there are numerous people kind of out in the streets at this point. You can see that certain people are like moving in mobs. There are certain people like moving in like packs. You can see that there's some people who are just in amongst themselves. You see that a lot of curtains are drawn. As you're kind of traveling across, you don't hear a lot of shouting. All the major noise seems to be coming up closer to Saint-Laurent, coming from downtown. The distant like pitter-patter of maybe gunfire, maybe some sort of use of like almost like a fireworks or some sort of minor explosions, the breaking of glass. There is this seeming endless stream of noise and chaos. As Asher, as you're kind of driving around with Nakano, in the distance, you can continue to hear the strange semblance of words that a lot of people just seem to be sporadically saying occasionally. You can hear a number of people who are kind of like shouting, like, "Send the cult fuckers back to where they are, 666. We are the people who need to be protected. Mark of the beast, mark of the beast." You can occasionally hear like people are walking back just, we've got to find our way home. No, we've got to find them. Find them. Butcher. Find. Before you guys find yourself at the section right outside the precinct where the barrier is essentially constructed, keeping people out, but armed guards and armed officers you see around the space in. Asher, as you're kind of looking around for the trail, you do see that the green light seems to, like this thin thread of almost like a spider's web, seems to sprout from nothing coming from the north as it curves around the barricade and goes into what looks to be like a docking location where there's multiple steel doors that look like they could be brought up. It's also about this point for Nakano and Asher. You've been in the front seat for getting close to 10 minutes at this point.
Should we park and head to the back? There's a place, a little street not too far away from here. I haven't been in the area for some years, but there's this little street, Lartigue, that people drive by all the time and barely even know it's there. I thought maybe we could hide out in one of those buildings.
See, sure, this is why you are the ideas guy. And I sort of clasp him on the shoulder.
Don't be silly, you're the ideas guy.
Well, in any case, we should not leave Talisen alone with Doug for much longer. I do not know who I fear for the most.
That's fair. Maybe we'll send Doug up front.
Yes, I believe he should be able to finish this leg of the drive.
Perfect.
You guys hop out of the front seat, heading to the back, where you can see Talisen and Doug seem to just be in some sort of conversation, as Doug just kind of looks to Talisen and is like, and I tell the guy, "What, this is made of cow? I thought it was lambskin." Yeah, you know, it's crazy.
I know, right? That's a good one, Doug. Oh, dear. Oh, hey, Nakano. Asher.
Oh, we got our buddies back.
Oh, see, finally. Pray tell, what are we up to? Where are we? Division seems to be limited in the back.
We are a block or so away from the precinct. She's already inside.
Excellent.
I will say, my friend, you are the most persuasive of us, and your abilities seem conducive to this. If you walk in there with this outfit and the mask, I can't imagine they won't open fire immediately.
Well, let us take a look at what guards are standing outside of the precinct first.
Oh, I hear what you guys are saying. You need a guy on the inside. I can take care of that.
Hey, Doug, how do you feel about policing as an institution?
Oh no. What have you done? You started something that cannot be stopped.
I mean, I know a few people on the force. They're pretty nice.
Did you ever protest back in the day?
Not really.
Gotcha. Who do you vote for typically? What party?
Well, for the most part, I'm more interested. Was it like I can remember the first time I went to vote? Oh, wait, that was a bit of a crazy time. But it's like it's always kind of one of these things where it's like, you're either a liberal or you're a conservative, and I don't really like that. I don't really like that kind of view on things. So I usually vote rhinoceros. They got some interesting stuff.
Asher, this will not be stopped. He will be here. We will be here until the darkness, till the end of time.
I just find it really interesting. Doug, are you from Quebec?
It depends on what you mean, because it's like, there's a whole family thing going on, because my mom, she's originally from Quebec, but she came to move to Toronto for a while, and I lived there for a while. But then her and my dad broke up. It was pretty traumatizing for like a 14-year-old kid, And so
I'm sorry you went through that.
So I like had all my younger years with my dad in Toronto, and then I occasionally came over for the summers to come and visit in Quebec. And so like that kind of distinction. And then after I kind of graduated, I was like, well, if I've already got the half citizenship here, why don't I study here in Quebec? That way I can at least have a little bit more breathing room with my finances, as it were. And then I just kind of one thing led to another. And I feel kind of like an Ontarian kind of.
For sure. I was just interested that I was just fascinated that the Bloc Québécois or People's Party of Canada weren't a part of that conversation, that you choose rhinoceros. That's it sounds like you're from Ontario, as it were. That's just interesting.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes into that strange kind of relationship where it's like, am I truly a Quebecer if I've only got this half nationalist thing going, but I've also expended half my life in Ontario and half my life in Quebec. It just kind of goes a little bit wild with that sort of thing and the politics of that and that all surrounding kind of stuff.
Anyway, you're okay being our lookout and driver?
I can do that.
Great.
By the way, what were the name of the people you had inside the police department?
Oh, there was a guy named Andrew Jutz. He was an interesting fella. Well, I can't go too much into the details while I was there, but let's just say it was an emergency situation and I had to go there, and he seemed to be a nice guy.
Anyone currently on the force that you know?
Sure. Andrew Jetz. There was a lady. I just had a quick chat with her. I didn't catch her name though.
For sure. That's fair. You're more of a blood bank type thing. You don't really come for emergency transfusions or anything.
Occasionally I do that, kind of helping out with the ambulances if there's a big situation going on. I'll occasionally be called in to kind of help with that.
Nakano, do you think that this is something that you could sneak into? I could give you another vial of acidic vitae. We could try that again. Or do you think this is a trio situation?
I can do my best, Asher.
Sense the unseen? Anything going on?
Sense the unseen? You do not sense anything.
Anything on heightened senses?
Any sounds or noises from inside the precinct?
No. No, mostly just chatter that is a little bit hard to hear at this distance, even with the heightened senses.
Can we try rolling for it?
You'd have to get a little bit closer, then you could roll for it, yeah.
And how long do we have to be in the shade before we can go back out into the sunlight safely? Should we say 5 minutes to do 10 minutes in the sun?
It's closer to 10 minutes. It's kind of like an equal trade.
10 on, 10 off. Okay. What's our story going in? We could always go in and try informing on a sighting of ourselves.
Oh, like, this is Second Inquisition, see? Second Inquisition have roots in Italy. I could blaze through as an operative. I could have captured you.
We don't have any proof that it is Inquisition other than Bray, I thought. Oh, sorry. Other than Capaldi.
Well, I can certainly do some other accents. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be Italian. I could be an Englishman, right? I could be one of them roadmen.
I think at this point any accent that you do will only draw attention to us. I do understand that is typically a benefit. But now might not be the time.
Hold on a moment. Why doesn't... Oh, no, it's easy. Nakano is undercover police officer. He has captured us. They don't know his face. But we are known. He's captured us. We go into the precinct. Once we're inside, we can use our superior strength, speed, persuasive abilities, magical abilities to break free, cause chaos. Get in as far as we possibly can. Either way, once we're inside, I'd say there is a limited time for stealth. Once we have Cape Noir, I would say the alarms are on and stealth is off. We should keep it as long as possible, don't get me wrong. But I think there is definitely a finite timeline for stealth in this particular engagement.
Do you have any capacity to influence their minds, Talisen?
Well, I have a feeling that some of my influencing abilities are somewhat diminished based on some of the events that have recently befallen us. However, I can still make someone love me or fear me. So at the very least, I can make someone a little bit more agreeable to what I am, the point of view that I'm trying to put across.
I think if they are Second Inquisition, there's no way they expect us to be us. They know our nature, they know what we can and cannot do. And what we are currently doing cannot be done.
Then again, we are in sunlight. Surely that will throw them for a bit.
That's my point.
Right. So, are we going in with Nagano as capturing us? As an undercover officer? I can persuade them that he is an undercover officer without him needing to show credentials.
Or we persuade them that either Capaldi or perhaps Marlene or someone from Sunscorch has tasked us with moving Kate.
That also works. Alright, well in that case, since Sunscorch is certainly American presence, I'll see what I can do about being from Sunscorch. Sounds a little bit more plausible.
Sure, I think that Anglophone North American is probably the best bet.
Certainly. That I can do.
Nakano, thoughts?
This is probably as good a plan as we can come up with.
I'd like to give Nakano a vial of corrosive vitae in case he needs it.
In case we get separated, should we not all have some corrosivity? Well, don't get me wrong, Nagano is probably the one going to be using it. I have a feeling that things may not go according to plan.
Am I able to give him 3 rouse checks worth in a vial?
Sure.
I failed 1 of 3, and then I'll just pop open a blood bag and drink. Since we are well set up for this right now. So he has a vial of 3 checks worth of corrosive vitae, which should be enough to get him through like a door lock or handcuffs or whatever. Nakano, you can disguise yourself. Talisen, you can move very quickly. I might be a liability.
Well, in that case, do you want to be our lookout?
For 10 minutes, I could be.
I mean more, say, we get inside and you take cover within the, say, the front desk or something, inside the building.
I suppose I can do something along the lines of walking in and saying, "Where's the bathroom? 666, mark of the beast, mark of the beast." Does that sound convincing?
I guess. Or you could just say we are the enforcers and you're the one that's sort of doing the logistics or something like that.
Are there any duffel bags in this blood bank car?
There's like a refrigerator bag, but no duffel bags, no.
How big of a refrigerator bag?
It's maybe like a half and a... Like, it's kind of like on both sides, like maybe 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet, yeah?
Not Kate Benoit sized.
No, not at all.
Forgive me for saying, this is a police precinct. I dare say they have body bags somewhere in the building, as well as a mortuary of their own.
They may not have their own mortuary, but perhaps I will look for that while you two search for Kate.
Certainly. How shall we stay in contact? If only Verity were here, her psychic link was useful, if not alarming.
Whichever one of us hears gunshots first will know that the other one is having issues.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna grab a spare blood bag and just tuck it into the pocket of my jacket.
Okay.
Oh, that's really smart. Could I do like a chest pocket?
I'll grab one too. Kate may need something. Actually, hold on a moment. This could work well. If we get shot...
That's what I'm thinking. It's so dramatic.
I know, it's so dramatic, and it also sells our mortality a little better. Ah, excellent. All right, gentlemen. Shall we do this? I thank you for your assistance in this matter. When we are finished, whatever the result, I will make sure that the Toreadors know that both of you are a friend to us.
Talisen, there is only one thing that I ask of you once all of this is said and done. Never wear that outfit around me again.
Well, look, this is being worn today. As this is my death outfit. This is my last stand outfit. And don't get me wrong, today is the day of last dance.
Your plan is to wear the spurs into the police precinct?
I mean, I could, fold them up. They come on a locking mechanism, so I can fold them up. Sure. But, see, and look, feeling that in combat, when I run very, very quickly, there will be sound. They will be drawn to me, which means the stealthier among us can use that as a distraction to slip away. I have no problem being this.
Could I use a heightened senses wits awareness check to try and smell horse shit?
Dude, these have been in storage for centuries.
No, not off the boots. I'm trying to figure out if there is a police horse stable at this precinct.
Oh, okay.
Because it's too funny.
Just come out riding a horse. Oh, God.
5.
The smell is not overwhelming, but you do smell what smells like the mange of, or like just the general scent of a very large animal behind the station. Just one.
And it's like an herbivore smell. This isn't like I'm smelling a black spiral dancer and you're fucking with me.
No, this smells like a horse. Or an other very large mammal of some sort, but most likely a horse.
Asher puts a hand on Talisen's shoulder and gives really, really sincere eye contact in case our escape goes south. I want you to know, my friend, from the bottom of my heart, there is one horse stabled behind the precinct.
Well, it's been a while since I've ridden. And,
you have the spurs, you have the skill.
I'm very rusty, let's just say that.
Our first animal can roll.
From someone that has no animal ken.
Actually, it was not the first one. The first one was Nakano talking to the bird. No, sorry, talking to the bat.
the Chicago bat. I love that guy. Very well. Which one were we looking to? Which metro were we looking to rendezvous at?
I think that if we can escape together and Doug can drive away separate and drop us off on our getaway, there are some locations that may be beneficial along the way.
Sure, I'm simply talking about. I'm talking about whether we get separated and I need to rendezvous.
Somewhere within the underground system between Peel, McGill, and Bonaventure, perhaps. There's a huge underground complex.
Well, if we do get separated, I'll see if I can join you there. If not, I'll pull out some burner phones and hand one to each of them, in case we need to be in contact.
Worst case, we also have our meetup point this evening.
See. Well, alright. Enough talking. Gentlemen, let's do this.
You guys step out of the back of the van as you see the officers on the outside. I'll say everyone please make... You can either do charisma intimidation or charisma persuasion checks.
For the record, I'm not wearing my mask for this part, though. My mask is...
You're wearing the rest of the outfit, though.
Yes. No. Rest of the outfit, I'm just not wearing the mask.
Can Nakano and I roll additional dice because no one's looking at us?
No, Talisen rolls at a -2 dice.
What, because I'm so ostentatious?
Because you have a literal shotgun strapped to your back.
And you're walking into a police precinct.
I'm a sun-scorched enforcer with strapped armor.
You are wearing none of the regalia. You're not wearing any kind of outfit that signifies that you're any point of authority.
Actually, we've seen we saw Marlene in her like bodyguard attire. How far away was it from this?
The opposite.
Perfect.
I mean, yeah, I'm the thing that I've got is I've basically got the only things that look like I would be from modern like enforcement is the fact that I'm armed and the fact that I've got a bulletproof like Kevlar vest on. That's the only thing that's lending to the fact that I'm from modern times.
Yeah, you're fully armed, wearing a bulletproof vest in the middle of a very violent insurrection by a group of people all across the area, and who have been informed by police to shoot on sight.
Asher, upon entry, is going to say, "Sorry, I'm looking for a bathroom so that I can use my enchanting voice."
Tyson, as well. Can I, because I have good looks stunning, that gives me +2 to any roll that is in relation to physical charisma checks. So taking that into account, can they just cancel each other out?
I'm going to allow it to reduce the deficiency by 1. So you're only taking a -1 as opposed to a -2. Because you look like a CW actor, you just also happen to look like a CW actor who is maybe is going to shoot a bunch of police officers.
No, that's fine. That means I'm going to take charisma persuasion then. So I'm going to walk in, throwing on awe, using charisma and persuasion. So because I've got 2 dots in presence, that puts my total dice pool up to 9. I'm just I'm gonna walk in with Nakano, and I'm gonna say to the clerk on the front desk, "Oh well, can we get inside, or are there people at the door?"
We're still determining if you guys can get through the front door.
Oh right, okay. I mean, that's still 6 successes.
Nakano, what was your roll?
So this is very interesting. I'm just looking something up because I have a merit and a flaw that I think cancel each other out directly in this scenario. Alright, so I rolled 2 successes. I have the flaw shy. I am distinctly not at ease in the presence of others. I'll go out of my way to avoid any unnecessary social interaction. However, I also have the merit bruiser, which is I appear exceptionally brutish, as such I instill discomfort or fear in those around me. I radiate a dangerous aura so that people will cross the street to avoid me.
I am going to allow you to take the bruiser bonus. Because while shy is a flaw, I'm not going to say that shy is going to operate in this situation because you're not talking to anyone as of the moment. You're just doing sheer presence. So because you're with Talisen and you're mostly just standing there and just kind of like looking to Talisen for information as of the moment, I will grant you the bonus. Is it a dice bonus or just a general bonus?
It's just a general bonus.
Okay.
3 successes for Asher as he tries to find a bathroom.
As you guys begin walking towards the front door, you can see multiple officers look into your guys' directions before they swivel. Kind of like a little bit of a freaky, like robotic moment where it's like a bunch of turrets kind of like turning to point down towards you guys as you count about 5 officers who are currently have weapons trained at you from like multiple positions. Before you see the one at top just kind of aiming the gun down, pointing at you all. See, they kind of look over to Asher. And Asher, as you're at this point, it's a little bit less so at this perspective, but you still hear from the officers those mutterings. Fire, fire, burn, burn, burn the sinners. Which point you see the officer at above kind of pointing down towards you, just kind of looks to Asher. You're looking for the bathroom.
Wait.
Go ahead. And then just shifts the perspective over to Talisen and Nakano. He's like, halt.
I'm walking along like I'm meant to be there. I'm like striding. I've got the broad shoulders. I'm using like a military gait, like a more like an open stance, like I'm accustomed to dealing with violence and I'm accustomed to walking into armed situations. And I'll keep walking, not slowing down, and just be like, Potter Sunscorch, looking for Cape Benoit. Let us through. Like, I'm not asking, I'm telling him. I'm the authority here. And he's just a peon. And I'm acting as such. I've got a cigarette in my mouth, just Sunscorch. Flick it down, stomp it. Cape Benoit, where is she?
Everyone just kind of looks to each other. And that collective wave of Mark. As they just kind of look back. The operatives are inside. However, we must check your weapons and leave them here before you can enter.
Are you kidding me? With what we're going after, and you're looking at us to go unarmed? Absolutely fucking not. And I'll do I'll swap from awe, and I'll put on daunt, and I'll just say, this is a fearsome beast we're after. And to contain it, we need to be equally fearsome. And we can't do that without these weapons. And I'll sort of over my shoulder, I'll click the shotgun, and I'll put out, and I'll hold the incendiary shell up. These Dragon's Breath rounds, we need them. And I'll flick it at him. Let us through, or we can't do our damn jobs.
Please make a charisma intimidation plus awe. Or sorry, plus daunt. Asher, you're allowed through without issue.
Yeah, Asher walks in and just goes, 666. Bathroom, 6. Mark the beasts. C'est où, ici? Les toilettes?
You see that the clerk working at the front desk kind of looks up towards you. And as you walk through the front doors, the space is busy with people. You see that there are what just seem to be everyday citizens who are all sitting down in like the main reception area, way too crowded. People are scared, but they're mostly just keeping quiet, kind of heads down, kind of just talking to themselves. As you can see, the clerk is... yes. Okay, good to know. As you approach the clerk, you can see she... oui, monsieur, bonjour. Can I assist you with something?
I'm looking for the bathroom.
Toilette. That's just going to be Sinner.
Sorry, where?
I said it was going to be a Sinner. 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 At which point you hear a... as you just turn and you see all of the people that were sitting in the space are now just staring at you and have all stood up as one.
I would like to... Hold on. I would like to... Fuck, that's so scary. I hate you. I hate you, Tyson. As this is happening, I'm going to use... I don't know how to pronounce it. Obea? The vampire soothes the mental or emotional turmoil of their subject. It is especially effective when used on mortals.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead and make your check. It's only on one target, correct?
It's a mortal. How many people are in here?
There's probably... Well, while you're looking around, you see the clerk. You don't know how many officers are inside. Just in the open foyer, maybe about 20, 25.
That's too many RAS checks. I'll start with the clerk.
Okay. And as you're kind of like getting ready to use the ability, you just see that now she is like deadpan staring at you as you hear her say, Brûlé Pasha.
Whoa, no. Okay.
As all of them just go, Brûlé Pasha. Brûlé Pasha.
Wait, what Bushald? What's the first word?
Brûlé le péché.
Burn?
Burn the sinners. Brûlé Pasha.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Composure plus aspects.
As you're rolling this, Talisen, you're outside.
I'll just light another cigarette while I'm doing this. I'm method acting the American tough guy.
The officer kind of looking down towards you, kind of looks to everyone else. Let us get your leader, as it were, be able to make sure that everything is above board. Keep an eye. This kind of turns, and at which point, Asher, as you reach out to the clerk, you feel your calming energy ripple through her shoulder as there's suddenly a singeing across your fingers, as you can see what almost seems to be like this purplish flame has burned across the tips of your fingers as you hear the door behind you. Brûlé Pasha. Brûlé Pasha. As the officer is, a very familiar officer to you, as the one just outside, is now just staring and looking towards you. Brûlé Pasha.
Am I to assume that was a failure?
Yes.
Okay, because on a normal mortal, it's a difficulty of 2. I understand that other stuff is going on.
Yes. The DC increased because of the effect that Bouchard has put on these people.
And my enchanting voice didn't bring it back down?
Oh, actually that is it. What do you say? What do you say when you use Obea?
Asher says, all sinners earn a chance at redemption.
Okay. At which point you place the hand on the clerk as you see this almost momentary flicker of light behind her eye, snuffed out like a candle. As you see as you can see, turning behind you, you can see that the officer is beginning to level a gun towards you. Not fast, just very intentional. As the other citizens are beginning to stand, as you see the clerk, what are you doing? Put down the gun, officer.
I'm pretty sure he's about to shoot me, and that's fine. Listen, we're okay. Kate Benoit, she was taken prisoner here, and everyone is being hypnotized. Like, it's all very bad. I just need your help, please. Can I try clouding the officer's memory? I just kind of look at him and I say, forget. And then I turn back to the conversation.
Okay. The officer, make a... Oh, what is the contest for that?
Charisma plus dominate versus wits plus resolve, unless it's an unsuspecting mortal victim, in which case no rolls required.
Okay, make a charisma dominate check.
How's he meant to... Yeah, he's immortal. He doesn't know I'm a vampire. But if Bouchard's dominate is what I'm trying to get past here, then yeah.
Yeah, that is... Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is not a good dice pool for me. I don't know why I use this when there's any chance of failure. Oh, no. Okay, that's 1 success and a 1 on the blood die. Sorry. Wait, I'm having a stress freak out. Is a 6 a success?
Yes.
2 successes and a 1 on the blood die.
You send it off towards him as he momentarily stutters, as the citizens, in a certain extent, very reminiscent of zombies as they're moving closer. As is the last thing you hear as you feel hands grab you around the shoulder and drag you into the clerk booth. As you look over to the officer, and the officer like kind of closes it and, everyone get away from the window.
This is the clerk? Describe the clerk to me.
The clerk, blonde-haired woman pulled back into a ponytail, very well kept, these very warm brown eyes, as she's kind of just aiming the gun like forward, kind of like she's trying to make it like less of like a like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you, and a little bit more of like, hey, get back.
Trigger discipline, officer. They are not under control at the moment. Do you have the keys?
She puts the gun away. Of course, and just tosses you the ring of keys. And instead of the pistol, she puts that back and pulls out a taser. Just kind of doesn't point it at anyone, just has it at the ready. So,
is it a hand? It's a projectile one. It's not a handheld.
Yeah.
Are there any handheld tasers around?
Look, I'm sorry. Who are you? Why are you being chased after by these people?
These people, the easiest way to explain it, they've been hypnotized by a domestic terrorist, and you were under the control as well. However, I've had some training as a mentalist, and I was able to free you, I don't know, permanently or temporarily, but I know it sounds ridiculous. That's what's going on.
Make a... Oh. I'll let you choose.
I'm trying not to lie. Asher doesn't lie anymore.
Well, I'll say I'll allow you to make either a manipulation subterfuge or a charisma persuasion, because it's just on the line. You have the choice.
Yeah, I'll do charisma persuasion. My point is, officer, I could really use your help. Things are not going very well, but if you help me, they could possibly go better. 5 successes. Plus enchanting voice.
She turns. All right, let's work together through this. The exit's out through the back. We should be able to hold them off.
Do you know where the prisoner is?
The prisoner. Yes, she is. She's at the holding cell.
Are there officers there?
Yes. Yes, there's woman. She's a bit gruff from what I remember.
Description? Just one woman?
Well, there's the one woman, but there's also 3 others. She seemed military. She brown hair, average height, American.
That's Marlene? Bray is blonde?
I believe they said her name was Capaldi.
Oh, all right.
Hang on, and just kind of pulls out a handheld taser and tosses it to you.
Sick. Is this just... I haven't used one of these before. One shot?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can I open... I guess I can't get to the door to let the other 2 in.
No, you'd have to go through the crowd.
Flashback to outside.
Yep, that's a fair point. For Nakano and Talisen, you're looking in through the door, and they are like glass pane doors, and you see Asher is like people are beginning to swarm towards him before he's pulled in behind the like office clerk desk. The glass window has been cordoned off, and you see that the officer and Asher are talking and seemingly working together towards something. You see the officer who went in to confirm about allowing you guys in. You see after this momentary haze, just grabs the pistol and starts shooting at the bulletproof glass.
Asher waves at them through the door.
I'm going to turn to Nakano and be like, all right, Nakano, we better get going. I'll need your help on this one. And I'm just going to look to one of the nearest guards, sort of before flicking a burner open. Command. Yeah. As expected. Regardless, get in. All right. Received.
See one of the officers kind of like, you see kind of holding the weapon out. It's like, just go. There's an issue in now. At which point you say, everyone, form up. As they begin to group together, you can see that there's about, at this point, about 4 officers, weapons trained, and are going in behind you. All right, we will, we'll take you, your 6.
All right, let's get going. And I'm gonna walk in, and I'll push open the doors like both hands, and I'll yell out, or I'll call out like sort of in loud, commanding voice. Daunt's still active, and I'll be like, "All right, stand down. We're to take control of the situation. Turn to your seats. We'll be forced to take action otherwise. Stand down."
Make another. You can either make it manipulation intimidation or charisma intimidation, and then add your presence.
Okay. Do I get my good looks from this one?
No, but you do gain a +1 because Nakano was nearby and looking like intimidating as hell. Nakano, is there anything you would like to accomplish during this time, or are you just trying to keep your cool?
I am desperately trying to remain calm.
All right. Crit can come at a better time. Okay, so that is 8 successes.
8 successes. You looking towards all of these people, it has suddenly turned into a madhouse. You see the gun firing against the bulletproof glass as the officer seems to be about to reload the clip, as about to start unloading again. You see the people that are kind of surrounding. There seems to be some sort of gate that is blocking off access into the greater part of the precinct as people are smashing against the bulletproof glass like, "Mark of the sinner. Yes. Burn them all to cinders. Slaughter. Before, as you shout that out to the command, everyone just kind of stops. As they all just kind of go, "Mark of the beast. 6. Must protect. Must look after. Protect our children. Protect the lives of those who are dear to us. Protect. As they begin to very slowly head back to their seats, as the officer with the reloaded clip just turns back around. "Oh, you have received confirmation. That is good."
Return to your post. At the front.
And kind of waves off to the other officers. "All right, everyone. Back to your positions." As the 5 of them exit out through the front doors.
I'll knock on the bulletproof glass. And is everything all right in there?
I came in to ask about the bathroom, and some people are just so particular about their personal space they didn't want to share, and it just got out of hand really quickly. And Asher just opens the door.
About that moment, both of you hear, "What the hell is going on out here?" As you both kind of heading through the pass for you, Talisen, and Asher, as you open the door, you can see Capaldi standing there, along with one other, seemed to be buzz-haired individual, in amongst all of these different like cubicles for different probably detectives or officers who are kind of set up all around the space, as you can see, one door off to the right hand side has been left slightly ajar, as Capaldi immediately looks to the two.
Is the other officers with me? Can the two of us fire our tasers?
She's going to fire at, the officer is going to shoot at Capaldi. That. Okay. She aims the taser, pulls the trigger, as the two wires end about 10 feet short and drop to the ground, as Capaldi just immediately looks up, shit, and just quick draws and shoots one towards you guys.
I'm gonna blink.
Okay, you blink. Make your rouse check.
Yep. Okay. Come on, baby. It's a failure on the rouse check. So I get a bit hungry.
At which point you see the officer. As the gun goes off in Capaldi's hand, the officer just immediately snaps backwards and hits the ground.
Well, with blink, I can. It's basically a rush of wind, and with blink, I can close the distance. If I succeed on my check, I can close the distance before she fires.
Okay.
So it specifically says the vampire moves in a straight line towards the target, covering any distance under 50 meters while still having enough time to perform an action, such as an attack during the turn. If the terrain is in any way hazardous, the character needs to make a Dex Athletics roll to avoid stumbling. Storyteller may call for other contests if as desired.
Well, who are you heading towards? Are you heading towards Capaldi or are you heading towards the officer?
I'm going towards Capaldi to just... The objective is to use the hilt of my sword or my shotgun, whichever is easier to get a hold of, and just clock her at the back of the head to disable her.
I just forgot that you tried to walk into a police station with an electric guitar over your back.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is entirely up to Talisen. You would have time to either bat Capaldi over the back of the head or to stop her from firing at the officer. You wouldn't be able to get moving before Capaldi's able to pull the trigger. It's about if you would be able to grab the officer and move her away from her past position, basically.
In that case, yeah, I'm gonna move the officer.
Okay. Please. Actually, with that, I won't even make you roll for it. You turn, immediately burst where the officer is, pull her off to the side as the bullet embeds itself into, like, the desk on the far side of the room.
Can I then continue that movement towards Capaldi, even if I'm not engaging her this turn?
You can on your turn. You'd have to reactivate Blink.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
I'll say, as per this moment, Capaldi is going to, after missing the shot, going to bend down, kind of crouching behind one of the cubicle walls, and is going to shout towards the open door, "Contact!" As the other one is going to pull forward and is going to also shoot at your position.
I have some cool stuff in my pockets. Can I throw a flashbang at some point?
Absolutely.
Can I huck that down the hallway?
You absolutely can. But the one member from Sunscorch is going to have priority on a shot against you first.
For sure.
So, at which point, I need you to please make a dexterity... a dexterity athletics check.
That's not going to go well for me. 2 successes.
2 successes. You take 4 points of aggravated damage.
Whoa, what? 4 aggravated damage?
Yep. Because these are dragon breath rounds.
Can I defy Bane?
Interesting. Yes, you can.
I can roll Wits plus Survival to activate reflexively because I hadn't done it ahead of time. I have to make a Rouse check and then Wits plus Survival to activate reflexively. The user can convert a number of aggravated damage equal to their Fortitude rating to superficial instead. They may not heal that superficial damage for the rest of the scene. It converts a number of damage per scene, not per wound or per attack. I failed the rouse check. And wits plus survival. What do I have to get?
I think how I'm going to flavor it is that the amount of dice that you roll, the amount of successes that you have, will reduce the aggravated damage by 1 per success. And then that will be able to determine how many stay as aggravated and which ones get switched to superficial.
Fair. All right, 4 dice. That's 1 success and a critical failure on one of the blood die.
Crit fail has no effect currently. You do take 3 points of aggravated, 1 point of superficial.
Holy shit.
You okay?
No.
Are you alive?
Yes.
As the bullet impacts into your shoulder, as you feel this flash of heated flame ignite into your skin, as you have to essentially thrown backwards slightly, as you have to immediately punch your chest where the impact was, as it begins to percolate into burned and sinewed vitae.
Holy, that almost killed me. I have 2 health left. Yeah, okay, after that happens, can I chuck the grenade?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, what's that? Firearms dexterity?
Let's make this dexterity athletics.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure that's what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a rouse check to blood surge. That succeeds. So I'm gonna add 1 dice. 3 successes, which is way more than it should be, honestly.
So, your choice. You can either have the flashbang go off within the radius of Capaldi and this other officer, or you can throw it down the hall.
I want to hit the open door frame and have it bounce into that room.
Okay, perfect. You pull the pin, ching, you chuck the grenade as it perfectly ricochets off the door as you begin to hear footsteps coming up through the hallway as it just there's this explosion, this burst of what almost looks like pyrotechnics as you hear from the hallway.
And then I'm gonna tuck my full body around the corner. Not part of this fight anymore.
Okay. Then which point Nakano?
All right. This is very interesting.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. How close am I to Capaldi?
You are about 25 feet, about that. You're pretty close.
What's the radius of a grenade's blast?
That would be, I'd say, about 20 feet.
I'm gonna walk over to Capaldi and the other one. And I'm gonna take out my 1 incendiary grenade. And I'm just gonna pop my thumb into the pin ring. And I'm gonna hold it up to them. And I'm gonna say, don't.
Okay. Make a charisma intimidation check.
Okay.
Can they see, by the way, can they see this or hear this? Because they've just had a flashbang go off right next to them.
Capaldi and the other officer can see this because they were not affected in the blast radius of the flashbang. The other members who are coming down the hallway cannot see.
Oh, right. You're doing that. You were doing that for the reinforcements. Okay, got you. Yep, I'm on the same page.
I was hoping that the 2 of you could take care of these 2.
It's fine. I got you, fam.
4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna make this for the for Capaldi. Okay. And I'm gonna make it for the officer. This would be considered. What would this be considered? Let's make this composure insight. Okay. And then, as you're holding the grenade in your hand, you look to the 2 of them as from where Asher is, there's a gunshot rings out. As you can see, the officer now has her revolver out and is shooting towards Capaldi. Capaldi dodges entirely out of the way. From their position, you can see Capaldi and the soldier kind of standing there. You see the soldier begins to move away from you, Nakano, as Capaldi just kind of looks up towards you, kind of looks at the grenade. At least we'll have a bonfire on our way out. And just points her pistol to the grenade and pulls the trigger. So Nakano, I need you to please make a dexterity athletics check.
That'll be, I can't get higher than 5 successes, I'm afraid.
No higher than 5. Okay, you do succeed. There's no rule here, so I'm just going to make this up. I would like you to roll 3 dice for me. And just tell me what the results are.
That is 2 1s and a 4.
2 1s and a 4. Okay. She fires as the bullet impacts the casing. You watch as the explosion, as it ignites in your hand, you immediately jump backwards, kind of Matrix style, as the explosion begins to ripple outwards, following just at the base of your feet. As Capaldi rolls and is able to roll out of the way unscathed. However, the other officer gets slightly enveloped by the flames as he's, as you can see, steps backwards, still standing, but takes a massive burn off to the side as she has her pistol at the ready. Talisen, it is now your go.
In that case, because I'm still right near the officer, aren't I?
You're right near the police officer at the front of that shooting, yeah. Before that happens, I need Nakano. Actually, I need all of you to please roll. I need you all to roll willpower.
That's a fail for me.
Once again, crit came at the right fucking time. 5 successes.
All fails. But I was around the corner. I didn't see any of that.
That is actually a very fair point. Okay. You are unaffected as of the moment. However, for Nakano, you enter terror frenzy. The only thing that you can continue to do is look for some way to escape the present danger. As you feel your eyes go into full dilation, it is now Talisen's turn.
All right. In that case, she's rolled out of the way, right? Or she's rolled.
Yeah.
So she's now in the open.
Mhm.
Instead of using my shotgun, I am in fact going to whip out my shotgun. So instead of using my sword, I'm going to whip out my shotgun and just say, well, one of us will be going out to fireworks. And I'm going to use unerring aim. And I'm going to go straight at her head.
Okay. Now, just clarifying, can you tell me what unerring aim does?
Unerring aim, yeah. Okay, so unerring aim. The world around me slows to a crawl. The vampire can aim and throw or fire any weapon at a target as if the target was stationary. 1 rouse check. Before use, making a ranged attack, the target makes no roll to dodge or defend, and I make the attack at difficulty 1. An opponent possessing celerity 5 can nullify this power by making their own rouse check, defending at the same speed.
Then, yep, make your attack at difficulty 1.
If I land a successful shot, because I am aiming for the head, will this be able to kill her?
Potentially.
If I get closer, will I improve my chances? Because I can blink forward.
You're at a pretty good range right now. If you get too close, you're gonna start to worry about like her being able to like bat the gun away. So
yeah. I don't mean to get like within melee distance, but if I could, because it is a shotgun. Like if I could blink closer.
It's entirely up to you. It's probably not going to have that much of a difference.
Okay. And how far away from her am I at this stage?
You're about, from your position, about 20 feet.
Okay, yep, no, that's cool. That's where I want to be.
And also, because you're using a shotgun and the incendiary rounds, make it a dex plus firearms plus 2 dice.
2, 4, 6, 7 successes. I got 3 crits. I shit you not.
Okay, so as you flick it, you allow your brain to go full focus as you pull the trigger as the slugs land pretty much near the collarbone shoulder as she's blown backwards from her hiding place up against the wall. As she...
Well, she wasn't in cover. You said she was out in the open because she rolled to get away from the blast.
She did. She's not out in
She rolled
full
to cover
awareness. Yeah, basically. However, you're able to blow pretty much right through it. Because it's cubicle walls, they're not that strong. But she impacts the wall, drops. She is barely holding on. At which point it goes to Asher.
Asher's gonna mend on his turn.
Fair enough.
How do I mend? I just do a rouse check and then...
Rouse check, and you heal 1 superficial damage.
Oh, is that it? Fuck. Crit success? Does that do anything? Probably not.
I don't think so. You heal 1 point of superficial damage.
Great. That's great. And that's also technically, like mechanically, that's not the damage caused by the bullet, because that damage can't be healed in this scene, I guess. But I have loads of other damage that I've taken.
From which, Nakano, it is your turn.
Okay, I gotta get out of here. That's my priority. I need a pickup. I'm gonna pull out my burner phone, and I want to call Doug.
You... Ring, ring. Ah, hey, Nakano.
Doug, I need you to bring the van into the precinct.
Into the precinct?
Ignore the wall, ignore the front door, just bring it into the goddamned lobby.
Well, whatever you say, Nakano. You're a stand-up guy. I'm willing to help get this done for you.
And then I'm gonna run over and join Asher.
Okay, you run to the other side of the room and get to cover. At which point you see the police officer alongside you guys just aiming the gun and just firing kind of wildly as the bullets just shoot over top of Capaldi's head.
Well, she's down, isn't she?
She is down. She's just barely standing.
All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. She's just
barely holding on. Yeah. At which point, Capaldi, because she doesn't have any other option, is going to take a shot at you, Talisen.
It's fine.
I need you to make a Dex athletics check.
5 successes.
5 successes. You take 1 point of aggravated damage as she fires at you. The bullet just nicks across the arm, and a slight singe kind of burns across you as you go back. Getting ready to reload as the other officer goes from another position and then shoots. As the other Sunscorch officer aims and shoots towards you, I need you to make another Dex athletics check.
I somehow don't think I'll... Never mind. That is 4 successes.
4 successes. 2 points of aggravated damage. As another bullet...
I'm going to defy Bane on that one. Yep.
Make a rouse check. And then add wits plus survival.
Success. That's not good.
So for my next character, Takeshi, I was thinking someone really good at fighting.
3 successes.
3 successes, okay. Talisen, you take only 2 points of superficial damage.
All right.
As the bullet whips past you, it now goes to your turn. Roll a quick d10 for me. Just tell me if it's a fail or success. Doesn't matter if it's a crit.
That's a success.
Success. So your shotgun is a pump action, so there's multiple rounds, so you don't have to spend your turn reloading. So, that's your go.
I'm finishing off Capaldi. I'm doing unerring aim again.
Okay, make a rouse check.
Success. And what was I doing the same roll as last time?
Yep, all the same. Dex plus firearms plus 2.
Cool. Just out of interest for the listeners at home and my own curiosity, where are the 2 other dice coming from?
So one of them is coming from the fire ammunition, and the other one is a damage bump because shotguns are just that crazy with damage.
Shotguns, yeah, no, that's fair enough.
But also, if you're outside a certain range, you would be taking Essentially, the penalty is much sooner as far as distance is concerned, as opposed to rifles and pistols. So,
Yep. That is 4 successes, and I'm once again going for the kill shot.
as you prep the shell in the chamber, how do you want to do this?
So she's up, she's in bad shape, she's shot me, and I'm just gonna. That's what you get when you try to cross a toreador.
As she just looks up, she goes to try to aim again as her head just caves in through the front and explodes out the back as she just lies down dead.
Now I've not deactivated Daunt.
That is true. Make a quick charisma intimidation check.
Do I add my presence die to that?
Yes.
So the stupid thing is that I've rolled like an idiotic amount of dice. I rolled 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 dice. 5 of them were fails, but I got a crit. So all up, that's 5 successes.
Okay. You look towards him as the guy just stands there holding the rifle before turning and booking it back down the hallway.
As he's running, since he's essentially using his turn to escape, can I give chase and finish him off?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 resolve rolls to see if the people who are flashbanged are still feeling the effects. Yeah, no, like these guys are not able to do anything. So with the fling member, as well as the 3 others that seem to have full kits that were attempting to run down, now just ultimately useless, you are pretty easily just able to, and somewhat scarily, just able to just shotgun just and just execute all 4 of them if you so desire.
Well, these guys are Sunscorch. They're not standard police officers. Is that correct?
They look like heavy military unit.
Yeah. If they're Sunscorch, I've got no problem with killing them. It's if they're standard like SWAT or police or ensorcelled people. The difference being that these guys are willfully trying to destroy us, as opposed to, and they're not just like protecting; they're making it their mission to destroy us. So as a result, they're not innocents; they are their enemies. So I'm going to go through and just. Actually, I'm going to use my sword. Never mind. I'll use my sword and I'll just chop them to pieces.
Okay. As you slash across all of them, there's the sound of the hissing from the flashbang. As you kind of swipe the blood off your sword, you can hear some movement down the hall as you kind of cock your head, and you can see what looks like a makeshift garage section. A large, like, locking cage mechanism has been set up, sitting in essentially just a simple chair at the center of the room. The rest of the cell seemingly electrified, connected to car batteries. You see Kate Benoit sitting, like, red hair a mess, covered in soot, dirt, ash, as she's just kind of manacled in front and kind of looks up towards you, wearing the same dress that she had on the night of the theater attack. As she kind of just looks towards you. Took you long enough. And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
I want to keep playing.
Well, at which point does anybody have anything they want to plug?
I would like to plug, once again, guys, get your vaccines. We want to make sure that, I want to come and see these guys. I haven't seen Tyson in years. Haven't met you guys in person. And so I would love to be able to fly over and catch up with everyone in Montreal. So get your vaxes, make sure that we can make this international travel happen, make the world a safer place again. Oh, and also, as well, reach out to your friends, be in touch. Like, lockdowns are tough. I know at the moment, in New South Wales, the state that's south of mine. But they're going through a pretty big lockdown at the moment. The city is entirely locked down. There's curfews, the lot. So for anyone that's got friends in lockdown, give them a call, stay in touch. That contact and communication is going to do wonders. So just look after yourselves, look after your friends.
And just to jump on that, if you have friends or loved ones that are nervous about the vaccine or opposed to it, don't argue with them. Don't berate them. Try and see where they're coming from and see what you can do to help them get their vaccine. And
I would like to plug the award-winning podcast October Jones and Fish with Legs, a all-ages fantasy adventure podcast. Great story, fun characters, lots of humor and heart. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on our website, octoberandfish.ca, and wherever else great award-winning podcasts can be found.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed this series thus far, please make sure to check us out either on YouTube with Three Kings Loot. You can also check us out at thebagofloot.com, or check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your better podcasts. Get all of your board game news from thebagofloot.com and all of your board game needs at threekingsloot.com. That's all of us from here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next time.